Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Two radio gods.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Amongst all of you today. Everybody out there in KDAWN universe and the planet is so lucky to have us.
Bow down to us.
You don't have to bow.
Kiss our feet.
Wow, listen to you.
Well, we're gods.
Oh, we're supposed to just get offerings.
Oh,
Pass the plate.
Well, kiss my feet.
Wow.
Well, we got different rules as different gods.
I'm easy.
Yeah.
Just give me money. You don't have to. No toes involved. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM. We are the talk of Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
David Difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what a difference Dave makes. Hour 2, I got to say it again.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of a reset. So there you go. Because you never know. Maybe people weren't tuned into hour 1.
What?
Which is stupid.
Yeah, that would be dumb.
Yeah.
That would be dumb.
Judging by the ratings, they are tuned into all our time. So God bless all of you. We love you.
God bless everybody.
I gotta get, and I bet my friend Gary out there is listening. Very regular listener on KDAWN.
Gary Shanlin?
No, not Gary Shanlin, but
that's your guy.
I think Gary's dead. Gary Shanling's dead.
Yeah,
Isn't he
is. R.I.P., brother.
Wow. So just calling out dead people. Great. No, but hi, Gary. So
hey, Gary.
Saying hi. Hope he's enjoying a bottle of Ripple this morning.
A Ripple? This early? Where's Gary at?
I don't know.
No clue, but he's
Somewhere
drinking Ripple.
Fred
G. Sanford over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, but we are bringing the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show. A whole lot more to go through as we break down everything that has been happening in the ropes and outside of them here on KDAWN. Dave, you're a lover, by the way. Dave has a hat on that's big and red, and it says lover that is a globe there, right?
Number one, it doesn't say lover. It says beloved. And I'm a beloved figure. And
it is beloved. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The translation of David is beloved, so I brand everything, man. But we're all loved. You're beloved.
By who? Name one.
Yeah.
See, you couldn't even say me.
Well, give me some time.
I love you.
I like you a lot.
Whatever.
Love is
whatever.
My heart's been shut off.
So cold, Dave. Anyway, well, one of the other big news items that happened over the past week, the NWA. Yes, they're still around if you didn't know.
Eazy-E died.
What?
Oh.
Come on.
Wrestling NWA.
Yes, the wrestling NWA.
Okay.
The National Wrestling Alliance.
Did you ever get that confused as a kid?
With what?
I don't know. When I heard NWA came out, all I was thinking was wrestling. And they were like, no, it's this group. And
I knew there would be a distinction between the two.
Because you were already older. I was just a kid.
Yeah. Okay. It's understandable. Dave, you're easily confused. But the National Wrestling Alliance, they've still been doing shows. They've still been doing pay-per-views. Just did their 75th anniversary show a little while ago. EC3 is now the world champion of the NWA. That's right. He's still around, doing his thing. The Control Your Narrative, I guess, didn't go so well. But the Billy Corgan, the owner of NWA, made two announcements. Well, one announcement this week and a sort of announcement. But apparently, first, they are going to be announcing a contract with the CW.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have a pretty good TV contract. Talking about Impact being on Access. Well, CW, that's hundreds of stations. So the NWA looks like they're going to be on the CW. But this was the other one that really caught me by surprise. And I am curious to hear what you think about this, David. Of course, the NWA, what it used to be was, it was an alliance. And it was alignments of territories across the North America, mostly. I mean, and they do some work with Japan and so on. But you would have different areas of the country that were kind of run by a certain promoter.
Right.
Like, for example, way back in the day, Vince McMahon's territory, senior, was the, New York and up, and Pennsylvania, and he had that, and, Mike Graham ran Florida, and so on. You had, just to run down like world-class championship wrestling in Texas, and you had Bill Watts in Mid-South, and you had the Missouri territory. You'd have, Georgia, the CWA area, which was Memphis, and, there are all sorts of little territories, and the guys that were running these territories had a gentleman's agreement. We don't run shows in your territory. And the NWA was the one that kind of oversaw all of that. And they would decide who would be the NWA world champion. And then that champion would go through all the territories. So you'd get him booked for, say, 3 or 4 weeks in your territory. Then he goes on to the next one. I'm sure, Dave, you saw Ric Flair's calendar when he was the NWA champion and how crazy it was.
Insane.
Yeah. So obviously the NWA completely faded away. The territories disappeared when Vince made his move back in the early 80s, wiped everybody out. Jim Crockett was kind of the only one that held on, and then that evolved into WCW and so on and so forth. Well, the NWA announced that they are supposedly bringing back the territories. The one territory is EC3's promotion that he runs in the Midwest. So you're already shaking your head.
Well, I'm just trying to, and while you're talking about this, I'm trying to
piece it together,
how it's going to work, and what does it mean? What's the impact why?
I think part of it is nostalgia. I think part of it is they're trying to get a national reach again. Not that they don't. They do broadcast their shows, but it's nothing like WWE or anything like that. Obviously, their shows. We had Joe DeFalco talking about this, that their shows. Joe's has bigger shows sometimes than the NWA does.
Mm-hmm.
So but this territory thing, here's my problem with it. I like the idea. I think it would be cool to have a roving champion going into different areas of the country and going to different promotions and defending the NWA World Championship. You have the tradition of the NWA, even though it's obviously not what it used to be. But the problem is there's no such thing as a territory anymore. Think of the definition of a territory. It's like a state or an area that you control. Nobody's got control over any part of the country in terms of promotions anymore. Like if Joe DeFalco and FSW wanted to do a show in Missouri, they could do a show in Missouri, and nobody's gonna, go hit Joe DeFalco in the back of the head with a blackjack.
Mm.
There's no territories. So I think that they may have made a mistake on this, because if you were going to make territories, then what you should have done is they should have had a bunch of promoters already lined up and at least be going into some of the major promotions across the country and have an agreement that, we're going to send the NWA champion to all these territories. That would have made sense. But when you're only saying it's, what territories do you have? Well, we got EC3s.
Yeah, it's insane.
It doesn't.
It doesn't have legs. Somebody he announced something. It was probably premature. It's an idea, but we've evolved way past the territories, and I think that it's not needed. So who would be? Would it just be other independents?
I would imagine it has to be. What else could it be?
Yeah, I think the thing is they get their chips up. They get a TV deal that makes sense, which they're on CW, right? So
they're apparently announcing they're going to be on CW. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they focus on that. I don't even understand the benefit. So for fans, what is the benefit? What do we get out of it?
That's a good question.
You said nostalgia, but
yeah. Look, I think one. It may be like a lower ticket price opportunity to see some pretty good names, and not busting the NWA in terms of their talent. they're doing a better job getting some people. And I'll tell you, their women's division in NWA, pretty good. Pretty good.
Who's on the roster right now? I used to watch it with and I don't know if that's still the case, but it would be on YouTube when they first jumped it back off. I would watch it like, okay, here we go, and Eli Drake and everybody. It was cool. I like the old studio feel, but is that still what they're doing?
Yeah, it's generally the same setup.
Power,
they're doing the Power show.
Huh.
Let me get a NWA
roster.
See if I got a roster.
Yeah, because I know Aldis was there. He's gone. What is it? Brodus Clay. He's still over there doing his thing.
You mean Ty?
Yeah. He's still over there.
Yeah, he was the former NWA champion. EC3 was the one that knocked him off. So.
Yeah,
but here's the. Let me see if I've got. Bear with me because I probably should have had a roster ready to go. I'm actually on the NWA's website right now. But well, here's some names that they've got. EC3, Tom Latimer, Camille, who's been wrestling really well. She's getting a lot of attention. Chris Adonis, we all know him, of course, formerly Chris Masters.
Oh yeah, that's my
WWE.
guy.
He's been wrestling there a lot. Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch. Samantha Starr, that's Baby Doll's daughter.
Oh.
Who else is over there? Blunt Force Trauma, they're a pretty good team. Aaron Stevens, that was oh my God. That's terrible. Why am I blanking on that? Damian Sandow.
Oh, yeah.
You remember him with The Miz?
Yeah, he was dope.
Yeah, bros. Let's see, Colby Carino. So I mean, there's some okay names on the roster. But like I said, but the problem with doing territories is that you should have, if you were going to say you're going to do that, then you should have had affiliates already ready to go.
Yeah, you should have reached out to Joe DeFalco.
Yeah, and I know what Joe would have said because he's not a big NWA fan.
Why would I need you guys? I know, right. Joe. Yeah.
But I mean the idea of splitting up the country a little bit, and you don't necessarily have to put the reins on and say, I run California now. No, it's never going to happen. But if you say I'm the official NWA promotion that's in California, if someone would take that reign, or let's say FSW would say, hey, we're going to be the official NWA promotion in Nevada. And then you don't sell those rights to anybody else and you don't do any shows in there. Well, now you got something.
Oh, who doesn't do any shows?
If nobody else, you don't do any, like the NWA wouldn't, like, for example, let's say FSW became a territory of the NWA, right?
Yeah.
That means that nobody else, and then you have the rights to say, no, there's not going to be any other NWA shows within, say, a couple hundred miles of me, none in Nevada. I'm the only one that gets NWA shows.
Yippee. I don't see the benefit of it. There's too many independent companies that
here would be a benefit if you have a good television contract.
Oh.
Because now you're getting some national attention because you're tied in under one banner. So I mean, I see the concept, right? But right now the execution to me doesn't. I mean, you hear the word the territory days, and all of us that were wrestling fans back then when the territories were around go, oh man, that was so awesome. But man, you think of world class, and you think of Florida and Georgia and the Mid Atlantic, and there's nothing like that. So I mean, I think you kind of put the cart before the horse on this one. You needed to have territories set up before you did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they were, and then they got disbanded, and we evolved as a wrestling. I don't see it. I think it worked in the days of when it was a lot of you showed up to the wrestling shows. It wasn't all on TV. You didn't have your things already dialed in. There's too many wrestling companies now. Then there wasn't an independent wrestling company popping up every month or people doing different shows here and there. You had territories. They ran it. That was it. Now you got 20 companies in Vegas, 15 companies in California. I just don't see it as, and they don't have enough weight. NWA, like, it has a name, it's legacy, it's everything. But today, what they're doing, they don't have enough weight to make that sound good to anybody.
Damn, boy, I'll tell you, not having Nick Aldis there, that would have helped.
Yeah, definitely.
At least you'd have a really big name there that people were going to be excited to go see. I mean, EC3 is a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to jump up out of my seat and say, "Oh my God, EC3's coming to town."
Yeah, change the narrative. What was that?
Yeah, control your
narrative. The narrative.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, that was bad for business. But I mean, that's the thing is they throw out ideas. This is going to be that you got to love ideas.
Ideas are great.
Yeah, so if you could flesh it out to where it makes sense to anybody, then we're good. But you're just saying something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like in any business, if you sit there and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna," I have this idea, and you announce your idea, but you don't have anything behind it, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, if you would have, like I said, if you would have come out and said with 15 promoters across the country and said, "This is our NWA team. This is if you want to see the NWA in California and some of our stars, this is where you're going to see them. If you want to see them in Texas, this is the place and the promotion that you're going to go to." And you had that alliance already set up, but not having the alliance with the National Wrestling Alliance, it doesn't make any sense. Now, maybe Billy's working on this, and he's got more set up than we know, but I just think it lacked the oomph without having different promoters behind it. And plus, the other issue that you've got is, man, you got to get a bunch of promoters together, and especially in this day and age.
Ain't happening.
Oh, see, back then, everybody understood what having a roaming world champion, what that meant to them, and what it meant to their box office. Plus they could split a little revenue. They had a gentleman's agreement. It kind of kept everybody in line until Vince McMahon just blew it all up. Now, trying to get 15 or 20 promoters on the same page and asking them to take money out of their pocket, which I'm sure they would have to do. Ooh, that is a heavy lift, brother.
Yeah, that is a heavy lift there. Yeah, we didn't tell our announcement. We're opening the Mark Hoke amusement park, wrestling-themed amusement park. We haven't figured it all out, but go ahead, write about that.
Yeah, I got a little red wagon outside my apartment.
Right. So far, I mean, that's just the beginning, but we're going to get everybody on board.
See, and that saying something like that exactly proves my point. So maybe we should get Billy on the show and have him and bring him on, and let's press him on a little bit. Reach out to him.
Yeah, call him.
Yeah, we'll get in touch.
Call him now.
No, now I don't have his number. I probably know people that do, but yeah. So it's a very interesting concept. We'll see if the NWA can do anything with it, and I mean, if it did, boy, there's now you got another company maybe putting together a unique product that people can get a kick out of, but who knows?
Yeah, it's not like it's just popping up with a new concept.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's drawing on the old days, but like the old days are gone, man.
Yeah, I got a station wagon I'm inventing. I'll tell you more about it next week.
Sounds good. All right, we're going to take a break, and we come back. Hey, the pay-per-view is starting to shape up, including an FSW alum from here in Las Vegas is going to get to main event a pay-per-view here. Dave knows who that is, I'm sure, but don't say it. Don't say it. It's a teaser. Don't do it. Stick around. We'll be right back.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, let's do some more radio, shall we?
Hey!
All right. See, there you go.
Yeah, man. I tell you, that 3-hour sleep is insane. Well, it's good, but sometimes you start to drain. And I'm supposed to do an audio book for somebody. So I got that
An audio book?
Yeah, I'm reading a book.
What book? I got it. I gotta know. David Difference. What book? Who hired you to do an audio book? Is it like the Barry White autobiography or something, or what's up?
Yeah, do you think that's my only range? I could do the Mark Hoke. Hey, everybody, this is Mark Hoke. Whatever voice you want, man, I'll throw at you. What kind of book? I can do kids' books, adult books.
What book?
I don't want to talk about it yet.
Yeah, okay.
Well, what do you say? You say I only got one lane when it comes to my voice?
It seems like it.
Well, that's just because it turned you on.
What?
I mean, but it's a narrative voice. It calms people. You know, I was blessed.
You are not calming at all.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
Damn. Well, if anybody's out there watching, I'd like to hear your opinion. Am I not calming? I thought I was a calming spirit.
Yeah, you kind of are, actually.
Not at all to kind of.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
give you a little bit. I'll give you a
appreciate
little love daily difference. This is the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We are live on KDAWN, on your radio dial, the Odyssey app. And if you haven't downloaded the Odyssey app, you're not only missing out on our show, but a ton of great shows from across the whole world. What are you doing? It's free.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be a dimwit. Download the Odyssey app right now. Come on, man. Get on board.
Dummy.
Dullard.
Kiss my feet.
No.
Nah.
God
We're
damn.
radio gods, man.
Anyway, and of course, we're also live streaming on YouTube, X, and Facebook. If you have not subscribed and liked our Facebook pages, our Twitter, and of course the YouTube page, subscribe on that. More subscribers, we certainly appreciate it. Please do. Just take a second. It would make us very happy.
Yeah, it's the little things
Yeah. It's just a click.
that mean a lot.
It's a click.
I had a clique in high school, man, and we were some bad dudes.
That's right. You're from the Bay.
Yeah.
I'm from South Central PA.
That doesn't even exist.
Yeah, it does.
That doesn't exist, Mark. Nobody knows where you're from.
York, Pennsylvania was the official first capital of the United States of America there, buddy.
That was the first official parts unknown. They just said,
No, it's a little bit past that, but Lancaster is Amish country. Everybody knows about that. Harrisburg state capital. So people know about the area.
nah, they don't.
No, you're right. They don't. It sucks. Anyway, one person that does not suck is L.A. Knight. And, of course, he was trained here in FSW.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he was here, yeah.
But he is now finally, after all this time in WWE, after suffering through the Maximum Male Models, has found his way to the main event. He will be in the main event with Roman Reigns at WWE Crown Jewel. That is in Saudi Arabia, coming up on, let me get the date here
next
for you,
Saturday.
November 4th.
Oh, we got some time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time here.
I was thinking it was yesterday. I was like, did I miss this thing?
No, Crown Jewel's November 4th. And then we have a AEW Full Gear down in L.A., which we're going to be hitting. That is the weekend of, let's see, the pay-per-view is on that Saturday. I believe that'd be the 17th, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we got Collision.
Yeah,
Friday.
Collision, Rampage, and Friday. That'll be fun.
Ooh, and then we got FSW Luck of the Draw. That's Sunday back in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy weekend.
Yeah.
Yippity-yay.
Yeah, so that will be the main event. Dave, is it the right time? That is the only question for me on this. Is this the right time to put LA Knight in with Roman Reigns, or should they have waited?
Yeah, I think that that slow climb, as much as we wanted to see, like, give him his flowers, give him his props, give us what we want, they gave it to us. So where does it go after that is the question. But I think that slow climb, take on the Intercontinental Champion, you got to shoot for the big dog. And just because we're cheering for you, I mean, you still got to earn your, as far as if it's a sport, wins, ranking, like I think you build it up. But it'll be a good match. It'll be interesting to see where they go and where they take it afterwards. But I could have waited. I hate when they, it's like we want it, then they over push it, and then it kind of takes the magic out of it. If you ask me, that's my thought. It's like now they're cramming it down our throats. I
have a feeling that what they're going to be doing with this is going to help lead into Survivor Series. Something's going to happen with this whole thing, and that is going to help lead to a Survivor Series team to take on Roman and the Bloodline. And I would imagine Judgment Day would probably be in on that because, of course, we do have new undisputed tag team champions in the WWE, as the Judgment Day got the belts back off Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
That happened on Raw?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, so we got new tag champs once again, so that reign didn't last very long.
What was the point? What do you think that added to any storyline or anything? Just a moment? Was it just a moment?
I guess.
Because it didn't make sense to me when it happened, but I was like, maybe they got something. And
yeah, you would have thought there was they were going somewhere with that, but maybe it's just, like I said, I think that a lot of this is tying to Survivor Series because you've got John Cena who's still getting involved with the Bloodline, LA Knight, Cody, Jay.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there's be another name to throw in there. I'm sure there'll be a fifth person. But, but then if you take the three guys in the Bloodline and then you have Damian Priest and Finn Balor teaming with the Bloodline in the Survivor Series 5-on-5 match, well, now you got something there. You got a pretty good main event.
Yeah, if they're future booking, but, I mean, we're talking about Crown Jewel is, I mean, what are your thoughts? Is it too fast for him to be going against? I think it's way too fast to be going against Roman.
I kind of do, too. Maybe, like I said, maybe they're trying to do something for Survivor Series, but I don't think they should do it at his expense because he's not walking out of there with the title. We all know this. So what is the point of putting him in there? And, because everybody would love to see him win a world championship.
Mm-hmm.
But he loses, he gets diminished.
Yeah.
And then it takes a lot of time to build that back up. And to be honest with you, when you think about what's going on with LA Knight, they really didn't build it up that much in the first place anyway, because just a while ago, he lost that match to the late Bray Wyatt and has only won and actually was losing a lot of matches. He's only been winning matches a few lately. So, man, I don't know. I guess I'm one of those guys that is, and to kind of go back to the territory days.
Oh boy!
But you always had when you wanted to push somebody towards the top, it was a very slow process. I mean, we were talking about Sting. It took forever for him to get a world championship match when he went into the NWA. Mm-hmm. And, we remember, Dave, a lot of guys that came into WWE when we were watching it that it would really take a while to get to wrestle for the Intercontinental title or get to wrestle for the World Championship. Very slow builds for a lot of people. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's way too fast.
Yeah.
Too fast. But you know what the crazy thing is? Like, I'm watching all this stuff, like social media, like other countries, there was like a car race and they're doing the, LA Knight announcement. And like, it's all over. Dude's doing the Best Buy over the loudspeaker. Like, yeah. So
you don't want to ruin it.
No, we love organic stuff like that we create as wrestling fans. I said when you over push it on us, then we start to pull back and like, that's what they did with Cena. That's what they did with Roman Reigns. Is like, that's your guy. Here's your guy. Here's more of your guy. Then it's too much. We like that underdog story, and think that we have some influence. But now, like I said last week, when you're telling us the fastest rising ever, don't tell us that. We made this happen because we love you, what you're doing. But then when WWE's like, let's go, it's a money play, we start to be like, maybe not.
Yeah, and when you think about everybody else that's looming in the world championship picture for either of the two titles, yeah, it's a pretty filled boat right now. You got a lot of guys that you could stick in there to go after Roman. And I don't know. I hope that it doesn't screw up his push. I really do.
Yeah. I don't think it will because it'll be some kerfuffle or whatever the word you want to use is, and then they'll just move on. We'll get past it. But I think it's just not even going to be a big deal. I was at a wedding, and I was talking to this beautiful honey baby, and I told her about wrestling, and she's like, "Oh, do you know Eli Drake? He's sleeping on my couch." I was like, "Oh, that's
wow.
crazy." Yeah. Now he's the biggest thing out there.
Nice.
Shout out to LA Knight.
There you go, buddy. Sean Ricker, everyone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And of course, we're dealing with Cody, and John Cena's not done with this whole thing yet. Got to imagine John Cena's going to be probably getting a match with Roman too.
You think? I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
I think so.
I think it's just a filler, right? They got to have some main events leading up to hopefully The Rock, but I mean, I don't think these matches will mean anything.
Well, by the way, some stuff leaked out that right now there are no plans for The Rock at WrestleMania 40. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
you're getting Cody. You're getting Cody.
How do you get leaked that there's no plans?
Don't look at me.
I mean, The Rock said himself.
Go search it.
The Rock said himself. He leaked it on TV, said there's something in the works.
Well, apparently there's not. Who knows?
Who's your source?
I'll look it up on the break for you.
All right.
I have so many tabs open, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Without The Rock being involved in that, it's got to be Cody finishing out. But actually, Dave, I had a pretty interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
I want a new bloodline.
Oh my God!
I want the double turn at WrestleMania 40.
Who's this?
Heyman turns on Roman and helps Cody win.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You're saying that. So who would be a part of that, though?
Here's my new bloodline.
All right, I'm interested. Finally, you got me interested about something.
Here's my Cody. It's Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Solo.
Nope.
Of course, Solo.
Well, I always thought you was going to go lineage.
Well, Solo is part of but not the same blood. No, this is a new bloodline.
All right.
Solo.
All right.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
Charlotte.
Okay.
And Braun Breaker.
So we're just looking at people with lineage, not
right?
Like the bloodline, which is the Samoan bloodline, which we are all related to each other, but a bloodline.
So this is the new, more destructive super legacy bloodline. Heyman turns. So Heyman turns on Roman, right? Yeah. Solo turns on Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And all these guys go heel. It would actually explain why Paul Heyman was down with Braun Breaker on NXT. And all these guys, and if you think about the vast majority of them, and actually all of them, at some point would have a gripe with some of the way that WWE handled their families and handled them. And Paul Heyman certainly does too. And plus, it's in Philadelphia, and I don't know if Raw is in Philly that next night, but could you imagine if Paul Heyman created a new bloodline and brought them out on Raw the next night in Philadelphia, home of ECW?
That'd be interesting. Well,
it'd be fun.
I think you have to come up with a faction name, but
no, it's the bloodline. Nah. You destroyed the old one and started the new one. Paul Heyman was the mastermind the whole time. Yeah, but it's Paul Heyman's bloodline.
Yeah, but it's not a bloodline if nobody's related to each other.
No, but they all have bloodlines in professional wrestling.
We'll work on the name, but I can see that crew doing some damage and Paul Heyman over there hopping over and putting it together. That would be dope. Well, it was kind of what was it? It was Cody and DiBiase.
Yeah,
and Orton.
The legend.
That was dope.
The legacy was and they ruined it.
Yeah, who ruined it? Or they turned too quick, right?
They turned Orton on everybody.
Yeah, that had legs. I was like, let's go. These young cats, like all with some lineage. That was dope. That could have been dope.
I thought those three guys were great. I really did.
Yeah.
Then that's part of Cody's gripe with WWE all this time. You think about how they treated him, the Stardust stuff and all that, and threw him away.
Stardust.
Man, would he have a gripe with World Wrestling Entertainment? Plus how they treat his dad sometimes too.
That's my guy.
Yeah. And Charlotte, they didn't treat Rick well sometimes. Yeah. Braun Breaker got his whole family legacy thrown away. He's a Steiner.
Yeah, I could see that. Break the yeah. No, I can see
Paul,
that.
And Paul had Solo in his back pocket the whole time.
I don't know
and
about
then Randy
Solo,
Orton comes back. Oh, you gotta. Oh my God, yeah. Well, Roman and Solo, and with something on. Oh man, that could be fun. I think it's a good group.
Yeah, well, let's bring in Hogan's son.
Nick?
Yeah, Nick Hogan. Nick Hogan.
I think we're going to pass on that.
Did you watch that Van Vliet Hogan interview?
I saw pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Hogan talked about bringing in his son to fight Shane. And then, who was it? Oh, yeah, then Jim Cornette just said he lied the whole Well, I want to talk to Hogan, and that's the thing is like you would just enamor in that moment. But I want to ask him like, tell me about all these people that say you lie about everything. Is this true? Is this true? I just want to get his take because every interview he does, people come out and it's like, hey, he lied about this. He lied about that. I mean, and there was some stuff about Bruiser Brody that was like, yeah, that didn't make sense. That's not the story. But I would like to get his take on it, you know?
It would be interesting because I know Jim Cornette does pieces on this.
Yeah.
And I know they ripped him on the Joe Rogan when he was on Joe Rogan. A lot of people were ripping him about stuff on that too.
Yeah. They say every interview he does. He's like because he was talking about the Bruiser Brody and was like, oh, this is what they did to him. This is how it happened. And they were like, that's not how they killed him, and you weren't there. But they also said Ric Flair said he was there, and Ric Flair was at Starrcade or something during the time. Like, I guess it's wrestling, man.
Well, just remember when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. You got to take a stand. It don't help to hide.
You got to get out there, man. Stand up. If you hurt my friends, then you hurt my pride.
I'm a real American. Well,
didn't you love that song?
I love that song.
Oh, that song was like the one.
Oh, I wanted to hurt people with that.
When that kicked in, like, oh, man, I was ready to go.
I was, too.
I used to wake up to that. Loved it.
And then you changed.
I still love it.
The dark side just perverted you, David.
Then you got that NWO music was dope.
Little Voodoo Child, you betcha. Hey, we've got more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. David Difference, I'm Mark Hoke. We'll be right back.
Infinite Wellness can help you achieve your goals and look and feel your best. Our regenerative medicine clinic utilizes stem cell and exome therapy. We also have a comprehensive weight loss program and numerous other services you can find on our website at infinitewellness.info. We're located at 8925 West Post Road, Suite 100, right across from IKEA. You can book your appointment today by calling us at 702-842-2244 or find us on social media at infinitewellness.lv. We'd love to be a part of your journey.
This message, funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're looking for an award-winning dining experience at outstanding prices, look no further than Unique Eats. Whether it's their incredible breakfast platters, amazing pastas and sandwiches, or world-renowned pizzas, celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco will have you covered. Check out their coffee and smoothie bar, vegetarian options, catering, and top-flight service. Visit Unique Eats today at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. Call 702-992-3038 or go to uniqueeatslv.com, and we'll see you all at Unique Eats.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we're back on The Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas. By the way, I have an update on Gary, our super KDAWN listener.
Ripple?
No. Now, he was thinking about cracking a beer, but he is not drinking Ripple right now. He messaged us on our Facebook page, The Mark Hoke Show.
Well, it's a good time for a beer. It's brunch time, right?
Yeah, go for it, Gary. Why not?
Every hour is happy hour.
Little Dos Equis.
But Ripple, though.
It's a long story on the Ripple thing, but
go for it. We got
it's just we were just something he said on the air one time, and it was hilarious. But Gary, go for it, man. Pop one. Enjoy the Raiders game and have a great time.
There you go.
Yeah. By the way, I did want to get a quick clarification on that event going on here in Las Vegas for TNA. And, of course, I had the page there, but it's gone. There it is. TNA will be the Hard to Kill pay-per-view at the Palms Casino on January 13th. So that is your date if you want to go see the newly rebranded. It was Impact Wrestling going back to being TNA.
No Six Sides?
That has already been confirmed. They are not bringing back that stupid six-sided
ring. How they confirm?
ring.
All you did was a bunch of yelling in the ring.
There was some press releases that came out. I guess they're not bringing it back.
Oh, okay. Not that I wanted it, but it was something different. I don't know. The fans seemed to like it.
I didn't like it at all.
No, yeah.
I don't know if
it was something different.
It was different, but sometimes different is not good.
Well,
but some people liked it.
Yeah, when Hogan said no more, they were like, "What? How dare you?" But I think that was the only thing that made them different. tell you the truth, because it was just a knockoff of everything else.
Well, one thing that I really love and they still have it, obviously, is the X Division.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the X Division matches. I mean, just, this is one of the, they were really pioneered letting the smaller guys have a shot. And of course, the X Division then just turned into anybody could do it. But,
right, yeah.
But those were, the X Division matches are usually pretty good. Chris Bay's former champ of that.
That's my guy right there. We should have him on next week.
Yeah, let's give Chris a call. I'm sure. But now that we know we're going to have a show in Vegas here.
Yeah, let's get him in the studio.
I'm going to call Ross Foreman shortly, and we'll have a chat. By the way, there's also another show coming up here in Las Vegas. And, Dave, we might have to try and find our way to this one.
What is it?
New Japan is here.
Oh.
They're here on Saturday.
Next Saturday?
This coming Saturday, October 28th. Bell time 7 p.m. at Sam's Town.
That's crazy, because I think we have our Halloween show that day.
Oh. Well.
The heck? Hold on. This is our territory.
Well, New Japan is taking a step in. So
I'm going to get Joe DeFalco on the horn, put a stop to this.
Yeah, good luck. It's New Japan and CMLL are doing a combo show at the at Sam's Town Live on Saturday night. So all your favorites. And by the way, there are some FSW guys that are on the show. Matt Vandergriff is doing a kickoff match.
Oh, of course.
Because he was in the, he's in the New Japan
Dojo
Academy. Yep. So he's on there. Limelight, Isaacs, and Nelson are taking on Jacob Boston Young and Akai and Titus Alexander. So those guys are going to be on the card too.
So maybe.
Yeah. So, but Eddie Kingston's on this. Tom Lawler's going to be there. Mystico, who just made his AEW debut, the former Sin Cara. Who else is on this thing? Julia, who, by the way, we're going to talk about her in just a second, too. She's going to be on this one. One of the top women wrestlers in the world. Hikuleo is on this. Lance Archer, Eddie Kingston, Sonata, the champ's on this thing. Takahashi's on this. Tama Tonga. It's going to be a great night.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you
That's
haven't,
the 28th, right?
Yeah. So if you haven't gotten to see any New Japan wrestling,
I'll be there.
Yeah, Dave, I think we're definitely going to go. And I'll just have to see if we can get some press passes. But
buy me some nachos, man.
Yeah, there you go. So a lot going on in Las Vegas on the wrestling scene. And speaking of Julia, by the way, the PWI Women's 250 came out. So we have this year's rankings. Rhea Ripley is the number one wrestler for that time period.
Makes sense.
So congratulations to her. Julia from Stardom is second, followed by Bianca Belair, Jamie Hayter, Tam Nakano from Stardom, Athena, of course, AEW and Ring of Honor, Deonna Purrazzo, seventh, Willow Nightingale, eighth, Camille from NWA in ninth, and Jordan Grace from Impact is number 10.
Hats off. Congrats to Sandra Moon, too. Started her career in FSW. She made the list somewhere in the hundreds.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she's a hell of a talent.
Yeah, and Julia is one of those women you love to hate and hate to love from Stardom, and she's going to be on this card, this New Japan card. So, take the opportunity, check some of these guys out if you can. It should be a great time. But yeah, Rhea, Julia, and Bianca Belair and Jamie Hayter. Man, that's a pretty darn good top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good group of ladies.
And they are, what? No Cargill?
Nope. I think because of where the period ended, I think they might have kind of cut like at the beginning of her reign as TBS champ. Plus, she didn't wrestle that much.
Yeah, true that. What do you think of the whole hype on her?
Jade Cargill?
Yep.
I still think they should have started her in NXT.
Oh, yeah?
I do. I just don't think she's ready. I've read a few people saying that.
Physically, like to go with their system, or from a fan standpoint?
I think from a wrestling standpoint.
She's not that good?
She's not bad, but she's still learning. I mean, you got to remember, this woman's only wrestled 50-some-odd matches.
Tell me real quick if we have time, because I just seen her.
Got about
she was
20 seconds.
She was undefeated, right?
Until she lost to Chris Statlander.
Yeah, we were there.
When we were there, and then she lost again and left.
So I would assume she'd be a dominating force, or she just got the looks like a Brock, or like a Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think
not Brock Lesnar,
but she's obviously a
Goldberg.
very physically imposing figure,
like Goldberg.
Yeah,
and not ready.
Yeah. She needs a little more training, but she's popping up all over WWE TV, so we'll see what happens with that. And that's going to wrap our show. David Difference, fun show today, bud.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeez, Sue. Oh, get some sleep, brother. Guys, we will see you next week on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas Odyssey app, and the live streams. We certainly appreciate all of you listening and making us, even though someone doesn't seem to think so, the #1 ranked live show on KDAWN.
Who doesn't think so?
Well,
let's start some beef. Who don't think so?
We'll talk. I'll tell you.
Tell me on the air.
We're the man. We the man.
We're the man.
We got it. Man. So thank you all for supporting the show. We will see you next time, everybody. We are the one. Acknowledge us. Have a great day, everybody. We'll catch you later.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.